Good morning. Welcome to our regional open house for Economy Bulb Mill. We would like to thank and congratulate owner Shane Wallingford on the expansion of his business. Shane came into the Fleming County Chamber several months ago, and we've known each other for many years, and he partnered with our chamber. In the course of our conversation, he had asked, hey, would you consider doing a regional, or would you consider doing an open house for my expansion? And I said, sure. Are you a member of the chambers in Maysville and Lewis County? And he said, sure. And I said, what if we make it a regional event and we all come together and do a regional thing versus just a county? And he was like, I think that would be a great idea, because that's how he wants to promote his business as part of the region. So that's how this came about. So we want to thank you for including all of us, Shay Basodi and Joni Pugh, for helping make today possible. So thank you all very much. I would like to turn it over now to Shane Wallingford for a history of Economy Bulb Mill.
Like we got quite the crowd. History of Economy Bulb Mill is long and prosperous, I should say now. I could have said it a few years ago. Before I begin with that, there's several people in this area that need to be thanked, right? First person I got to thank is Mom. Where are we at without Mom, right? I was blessed with two wonderful parents. Dad's passed away, and I can hear him now. Oh, hell, son, I don't know what you're thinking. And for those of you that knew him, that was spot on. I have to thank my wife, who supported me throughout the entire endeavor, from the time we purchased the company to now. She's always had my back. She's always been supportive. My children have always been supportive. And there's countless of you. Scott Broughton, where you at? Where you at, Scotty? Scotty, this is what we started 15 years ago, right? Jim Meadows, hey, you had to give me a job and I asked for it down at the other mill. Where would I be, right? Zargari, where would I be without you? It's your idea, you need to do the board, right? And I know I'm forgetting a million people. My guys that work for me are just tremendous. I ask 3 questions when we work. Can we do it? How long is it going to take? What do you need from me? They do the work. You can see it back there in the back. But Economy Bulb Mill started off in the 50s as economy manufacturing. Along about the mid-60s, late 70s, it merged with another company called Crosley, and so it was a 4-product line. They sold ball mills, mixers, blenders, and valves, and it was all based on Rust Belt technology. It was based in East Liverpool and then moved to East Palestine, Ohio, which if you draw a line between Pittsburgh and Cleveland, East Palestine's smack dab in the middle. And so it was built as that. Well, when the Rust Belt took the big dump in the late 80s, early 90s, the company transformed its resources into becoming more of a fabrication facility and less as a product manufacturing facility. So it changed ownerships in the mid-90s. When it did that, the new owners sold off the product line in the mixers, blenders, and valves, and it became Economy Bulb Mill Company. In 2011, I guess, Dr. Zargari and Nilesh Joshi, Dr. Hans Chapman, those individuals had at Moorhead State, said you have the entrepreneurial spirit. You need to own your own company. When I'm 34 years old at this time with a wife, 3 kids, and a mortgage, and 2 car payments, that's a leap. That's a leap from the comfort zone of, hey, I've got a steady job that pays my bills and makes my days, to saying whatever. Jim Meadows is sitting back there in the back of the room, and he's poking me like a bear. You can do that, Wallingford. Go on. You can do it. You can do it. It's a good idea. It's a good idea. I got a building down there you can use. Of course, I'd be remiss if I didn't include Becky and Larry Schlomer with helping me get my college education, because I went to college while I worked at Inland. They approved all of that stuff for me, helped me with assignments. Larry Slumber helped me write a paper one time. I mean, and he was an old English teacher. Anyhow, I tell you that to tell you this. This region, and I hope the media hears this, I hope you put it in print, I hope you throw it out on Facebook. The reason that there's not just Lewis County Chamber of Commerce involved in this, and the reason that there's Fleming, Mason, and Lewis, is this is a regional event. Guess what? Eastern Kentucky, and Lewis County in particular, is open for business. We can do, and we have successfully done, international commerce right here in tiny Tollsboro. Now here's the bad news. More than likely, outside investment from within our community is not going to happen for probably another 15 years of any significance. So it's going to be left upon the shoulders of the citizens that live here to do exactly what I've done. I've got product back there that came from an island north of Australia. We've processed it. They're looking at buying equipment. I've sold equipment to Australia, Belgium, Romania, Mexico, Canada. Got the product down there right now that we're running from Northern Ireland. The internet changed it all. It changed people's buying habits, and my wife taught me that when I came home to a porch full of paper towels and toilet paper and lost my mind on her for buying a bunch of stuff from Amazon. And she's like, look, you can't buy it at the store. And at that eureka moment, I realized, guess what? If this middle-aged lady that's always went to the grocery store to buy her goods is now shopping online to do it, so is everyone else. The internet's changed the world, ladies and gentlemen. It doesn't matter if you're in Antarctica. If you can get it shipped, people will buy it from you. So for you political leaders that are here, that have been in office, whether at the national level or the local level or whatever, if you're a lender in this area, you need to look at this area as open for business. Not just for companies like mine, but it takes companies like mine to make it show success so that everybody else has the same belief. So I appreciate everyone coming today. If I've missed you in my individual thank yous, it was certainly not intentional, because everybody here, 75% of the people here have had a positive influence on me and the way I do business and the way I've conducted my life. I appreciate everyone's support. Thank you all again for coming.
Good afternoon. My name's Joni Pugh. I'm with the Lewis County Chamber of Commerce. We are so happy to be here to celebrate Shane and his employees. This place is wonderful. He's been a great member to the Lewis County Chamber and to the Fleming Chamber and to the Mason County Chamber, and we all appreciate him very much. We plan, do I have it?
See if that's it.
Can you hear me okay?
I'm going to turn it off.
Oh, you did.
I turned it off. I turned it off, but it didn't now.
Thanks.
There you go. Hold your hand. Pass them on.
Well, in case you didn't hear me, I'm Joni Pugh from Lewis County Chamber. And we are thrilled to celebrate Shane and his industry and his employees. This is so wonderful to have here in Lewis County. And I was lucky enough to be a part of the regional group. Crystal Ruark from Fleming County Chamber and Shay Basadi from the Mason County Chamber. We work together to make this happen. And we do have a regional chamber of commerce that they both belong to. I just wanted to mention that. And it is my honor to present the Judge Executive of Lewis County, Kentucky, Mr. George Sparks.
Good afternoon. Shane, I think you're going to have to turn this on for me. How about now? How about now? Well, my name is George Sparks. I currently serve as Lewis County Judge Executive since January 2023. It's been an honor and a privilege to serve in this office, and I've known Shane Wallingford, ever since I can remember, and our families go way back, hunters, fishers, and we showed walking horses together and farmed together, and if you know Shane, you know he's full of energy, and I admire his determination and his perseverance. And I want to thank him and his wife Kim, your family and your staff here at Economy Ball Mill, and I just am really thankful to see the progress you've made here. And anyway, I lose my train of thought every now and then, but I appreciate him inviting me to be here today, and excuse me. We'll get this straightened out here in a minute. Our businesses are the backbone of our community, and they employ our people and they put food on our family's table, and so they are so very important. And what he's doing here, I think, is amazing. I read Shane's thesis that he wrote when he was in his later years at Morehead State University, and I think, wow. If you read that, he did a very in-depth study of the schools, the career centers, the colleges, and the businesses, and the workforce in this region, from Ashland all the way to Bracken County, all the way to Morehead, and I really was amazed and impressed with how deep he dove into that, and then for him to come up in his mind how to build these ball mills and actually bring it to reality. And now he not only sells them not just in Kentucky or the United States, but far beyond, and I believe that that's pretty unique. So, when I ran for this office in 2022, I campaigned, I talked a lot about transparency, hard work, improvements to our ambulance service in Lewis County, and improvements to the county road department. And I talked a lot about emergency communications, which I knew, talking to our sheriff, that they need to be improved, and supporting our businesses. And I'm a big advocate of our businesses. We have over 300 businesses in Lewis County. That's hard to believe, but it's true. And so when I took office, I took off working really hard to try to improve those things. And because of good relationships and partnerships and teamwork in Lewis County and throughout the state of Kentucky and in Frankfort, we've been able to accomplish these goals and much, much more. And good projects like the Camp Dix Fire Department, we just unveiled that last week, and I think that it took a lot of different partners to make that project come through. And I want to thank people that work at Buffalo Trace, Kevin Cornette and Christy Dodge, and many more other people down there. The board at the Camp Dix Fire Department, the physical court, some of our magistrates like Mark Horsley, he really worked hard because he's an engineer as well. And he put in a lot of work on that. But last week we had the unveiling, beautiful place if you haven't seen that, and I think our fire departments are so important. We've got good law enforcement in Lewis County. Sheriff Bivens and his deputies do an incredible job, and their communications, I don't take credit for it, but they have really improved, and they do a lot of work that our normal people don't know about, and they probably don't need to know about, but I assure you they're doing stuff 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. We got great fire departments, 7 departments in Lewis County, and one of them has 2 different stations. We got great volunteer firefighters and fire chiefs. Our emergency communication center really have improved over the last 3 years. We've got upgrades with fiber internet and better computers, better phones. And our emergency management agency here in Lewis County, I think, is top notch. We have a great emergency operations plan, and Dennis Brown, our emergency management director, he works really hard with Kentucky Emergency Management. And also now we have good emergency medical services in Lewis County. And I think those are, they take care of our people, but they're important to our businesses to have those services. I look at them as essential. And so we've worked hard to make sure that we have those. And some other projects is Kentucky Better Internet in Lewis County. We got $28 million to expand broadband in Lewis County. And we're seeing utility poles go up all over Lewis County. That is not only strengthening our infrastructure, but it's also strengthening our power grid, and it's bringing high-speed internet, reliable internet to our homes all over the county. And that's important for our students that are going to school so they can do research. It's important for a lot of people who are working remote. I mean, I like to think that people get up and go to work, but today, believe it or not, there's a lot of people works remote, and it works. Shaping Our Appalachian Region has a lot of jobs that they post every week or two, and if it works for people, then I'm happy about it. They can make $15 to $25 an hour. We're seeing more of that stuff. And some other projects is our park up in Black Oak. It was started before I got in there, but we have made constant, steady progress on that park. Completing the splash pad, building a shelter house, a fence project, basketball courts. We got a $500,000 grant to build a sports complex, which is going to consist of 4 ball fields. And there's some more really good news going to come today, and I'll leave that up to our State Representative Patrick Flannery and our State Senator Webb to announce that. But anyway, I believe by working together, the first time ever we have our own county run and operated ambulance service, which I'm proud of. Today they've got over 20 employees, and we just started in 2024, 5 trucks, and they did just under 2,000 runs in 2025, to just tell you how important that ambulance service is. And when I took office, the county road department was in very poor condition. Today it's been remodeled. We've got 7 brand new trucks, a new loader and a new backhoe, about a $2 million investment. And I know we've got over 370 miles of county roads, and those people, they have to have good equipment to take care of all those roads. So today they have, and our future is bright. I tell people every day, tourism and outdoor recreation, we've got a great team of people, a committee together. We've done a lot of work with the Army Corps of Engineers, Department of Fish and Wildlife, Division of Water, Buffalo Trace Area Development, and the city of Vanceburg. We've got some great projects, so we're going to capitalize on that. And I'm planning to be reelected. And I want to take things further. I want us to be a work-ready community. Right now, we're work-ready in progress. So there's been a ton of work done on that, but there's a lot more work to be done on it. And should I be reelected, I feel confident that we can become a work-ready community. And I want to continue to support our businesses. Since I've been in office, we've had community forums, business forums, career fairs, health fairs, and we had the first that I've ever heard of, a health fair / career fair. And now I hear they're doing those, had one in Greenup County here recently that was a big success as well. So anyway, I think I appreciate the opportunity, Shane, to speak, and God bless Lewis County and our surrounding counties, our Commonwealth, and the USA. Thank you very much.
Now at this time, I would like to invite Congressman Andy Barr to come forward and give a few words.
Judge, it's good to see you. Good to see you guys. Oh, good morning, everyone. It's an honor to be with you all for this open house for Economy Ball Mill. Shane and I met a number of years ago. Thanks to our good friend Scotty, my law school classmate from the University of Kentucky. And I'm so grateful for the introduction, and I'm so proud of what Shane has built here, right here in Tollsboro. By the way, it's great to be in Lewis County. Good to be with all of you all. As you all know, I've represented Fleming County, Judge Sims here, for a number of years, and it's been an honor of a lifetime to get a chance to represent Central Kentucky in Congress. But it's really great to be here in Ed Gowrine country. Good to see you, Ed, in Lewis County in northern Kentucky. And I just want to say, I see Patrick Flannery there. Thanks, Patrick. And Robin, Senator Webb, good to see you. Thank you. Good to be in your territory. But I want to just say thank you to Shane and what he's doing here. I really believe in the idea of hard work and perseverance. Ed has heard me talk about this quite a bit. My father gave me a quote from Calvin Coolidge, who was a great and underappreciated president, who said, "Nothing in this world can take the place of persistence. Talent will not, genius will not, education will not. The world is full of educated derelicts." We know that. Persistence alone is omnipotent, and the slogan "Press On" has always solved and will always solve the problems of the human race. Well, this business that's right here is a manifestation of persistence. This is the product of a lot of sweat equity, a lot of hard work, a lot of not giving up. That's what risk takers do. They don't give up. They learn from coming up short over and over and over again. The only way to build a successful enterprise like what we have here in Tollsboro now is through the grit and never give up attitude of an entrepreneur. And Shane is that entrepreneur who's bringing jobs and building jobs for this community and Northeast Kentucky. And I applaud you for that. And as I recall, through COVID, you had to get a PPP loan and trial and error, and you go through many opportunities and many challenges, and so, over and over again, entrepreneurs feel like they're going to fail, but they keep going and they never give up until ultimately they build a growing business. And that's what he's got now, a growing business that's going to hire people and provide wages and tax base for this community. A great entrepreneur, a great innovator, a great risk taker in American entrepreneurial history was a man named Thomas Edison. Y'all remember Thomas Edison? Thomas Edison famously said, "I have never failed. I have only learned 9,999 ways how to not build a light bulb." Well, I would imagine, and I'm sure I know he's told you about the history of this incredible enterprise, but I know Shane has never failed. Shane has just learned maybe 9,999 ways how to not build a ball mill. But now he's built a lot of ball mills, and he's learning how to do something that's not only consequential for this community, but he was just explaining to me the use cases of what this business is. And this is how I'll end my remarks, because I think this is really important. It's great to build a business and provide opportunities for yourself as a business owner and an entrepreneur, to create jobs, to give good paychecks to the people of this community. That's what Shane is doing, but it's bigger than that. This is much bigger than that with what he's doing. I have the privilege of serving on the Select Committee for the strategic competition between the United States and the Chinese Communist Party. We are entering a multi-decade strategic competition with a peer competitor that has 4 times the population of the United States, 1.4 billion people. A communist country, a central planning country that is far different than our society. An authoritarian, technocratic, very sophisticated, rapidly growing, rapidly militarizing society. A proud civilization that believes that they are the Middle Kingdom, that they are returning to their rightful place as the world's superpower. They call it the 100-year marathon because it is the strategic objective of the Chinese Communist Party to replace the United States as the world's unipolar superpower by the year 2049. In many metrics, they're ahead of schedule. One of the ways in which China is racing ahead of the United States and our allies is in its dominance of critical minerals, rare earth elements. China controls 70% of the world's rare earth mineral mining capacity. 70%. A lot of that was acquired not just inside mainland China, but it was acquired through the Belt and Road Initiative, where through debt trap diplomacy in Africa, South America, the central parts of Asia, the former Soviet Union, China has exploited its relationships and acquired massive amounts of rare earth element critical mineral reserves. As a result of that, they dominate the mining of these critical minerals. What are these rare earths and what are they used for? They go into our very sophisticated weapon systems. They go into our electronics. They go into semiconductor manufacturing. They go into the microchips and the microelectronics that are responsible for the most sophisticated technologies of the future, like artificial intelligence. China wants to dominate rare earth mining and rare earth processing. And in fact, in the area of refining and processing of rare earths, China controls 90% of the processing of rare earths. This is a major problem for the United States and Western civilization because the technologies of the future, including microelectronics, hypersonics, quantum computing, all of these technologies of the future, artificial intelligence, it's all going to be dependent on energy and rare earths. China is building 2 new coal-fired power plants every single week. At the same time, we've prematurely 290 coal-fired power plants in this country over the last 16 years because of the war on coal. This was an egregious strategic mistake for the United States. So we need to rebuild our power and electricity generation capacity in this country as electricity demand skyrockets, as we build AI data centers that will help us win the race for AI. Jensen Huang, the CEO of NVIDIA, the most sophisticated chip manufacturer in the country, in the world, argues that China is only nanoseconds behind the United States in AI dominance. And so we're in a race. We're in a strategic race. And rare earth elements, mining and processing is something where we're way behind. Shane Wallingford, Ball Mill, Economy Ball Mill right here in Tollsboro. They are the solution. They are helping us deal with our deficiencies in rare earth processing. So my closing remarks are thank you, all of you all, for being here, for supporting this great business, this great entrepreneur who has demonstrated perseverance and a never give up attitude. This is a great opportunity for this community that we all support and will provide great paychecks and growing jobs and economic opportunity for the people of Lewis County and surrounding areas that they deserve. But I'm here to tell you, think bigger than that. What this is all about is national security. And this company is contributing to American competitiveness. Congratulations. And I look forward to supporting this enterprise and this community in years ahead. Thanks so much.
Thank you, Andy. Appreciate that. Appreciate the help with that double whammy thing too with the idle gnome thing. You really helped me out there. To add to Andy's point, as one of the The cool thing about a ball mill is that there's not just an industry. Hey, Rob Ham's back there, my old HVAC instructor. He's the one that told me to go to college and get my 2-year degree, turn me over to AZ. To add to what he's saying, though, there's 2 ways. Number one is there's rare earth minerals and magnets, okay? And since we don't have the rare earth minerals at our disposal to mine within the United States, there is a tremendous effort moving forward to recirculate and recycle rare earth minerals from other things, magnets, circuit boards, XYZ. The ball mill you see sitting right back there is going to be actually used to get the rare earth minerals out of incinerated circuit boards from computers. Just up the road, we've got containers of magnets that we're breaking down so that they can process the rare earth minerals out of magnets. The drawings on the wall inside this mill here is a continuous overflow mill. It's used to process fly ash because when they put the war on coal and they closed the coal-fired power plants, everybody forgot, oh dear, we use 35% fly ash in our concrete mixture. Where are we going to get it from? I don't know. So they're going back and reclaiming fly ash from the old ponds. Guess whose ball mills is producing those products? Connie Ball Mill. You said it right. The reason why this is a regional event, Congressman Barr, is that this is bigger than us. The equipment that we make a difference. And I'm just touching the tip of the iceberg. I won't live to see what it can be. But I can assure you that what we manufacture, this area is contributing to the planet. Not just here, it's contributing to the planet. So you're spot on, Congressman. Now, next up is the one guy with Rob Ham that's responsible for me to have my education. His name is Dr. Ahman Zargari. I said that right, did I not, AZ? We just call him AZ because we love him. Come on up here. Come on up here. AZ is about to retire after several years of service to Morehead State University. He is right now the Dean of the College of Science and Engineering, and if you have read anything at all about the amazing transformation that Morehead State University's engineering department has made, I can assure you that this man was elbow deep into it. I mean, we contribute to NASA. Morehead State alumni, be proud. We do things for NASA. We build rockets. We track rockets. We do all kinds of stuff. And that is because of the direct leadership of this man right here, to whom I owe a tremendous amount. So with no further ado, put your hands together for Ahman Zargari.
You know why he wants me to talk? Yes, he likes me to talk. Shane, Congressman Barr, you actually gave us today a motivational speech we all needed. It begins from grassroots. It begins from here. Not too long ago, I found this young man, was not that young, but 2 children, and he worked in the night shift, in a mill in the night shift. He had an associate degree built on him, and he actually, what Congressman mentioned, was not to stop. Perseverance, I knew that from the beginning. I told him, you can do it, but not that fast. He was working night shift, and I put him in 2 classes. He came back to me and said, no. I want 4. I want 5. I said, Shane, you can't. So that way, in less than 3 years, he had a master's degree. But all his thinking was behind and beyond that degree. He wanted to do something here in this region. So yes, his project was exactly this. His dream was, I will make it happen. But Shane, sometimes you call me midnight after 10.
I needed a pat on the back, I'm not gonna lie. I needed it.
And you said AZ is not working. And I told him, it will be working. Again, Congressman, you were right. He did not stop. He was perseverant. He had the stamina, he had the belief. But you know what? Sometimes also we need to take risk. In his opening, not too long ago, only few people in that meeting, in that celebration, they really believed in him. Maybe his wife, maybe his mom, and his father was singing in my ear. I always remember that, Shane. Hope singing. I truly believed in him. I believed in him because he never stopped. So today, this is success for this community, for our state, for our nation, because people 10 years ago wouldn't imagine even something can happen. A company here, serving people here, producing something that in California they are asking for, and he mentioned overseas they are asking for. I am humbled. I did only my job. What I did with Shane was only my job. Shane, thank you. Thank you for helping me feel I succeeded in my job. I appreciate it. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Hi everyone, I'm Shay Zodi. I'm with the Maysville Area Chamber of Commerce. And I want to introduce up here Kevin Cornette. He's the Executive Director with the Buffalo Trace Area Development. Hello, Kevin.
Well, good afternoon, or good morning. You've heard Congressman Barr talk about the word persistence. You've heard AZ talk about the grassroots start that Shane had back when he was doing his college degree. And I'm here. I was Economic Development Director when Shane, at Buffalo Trace, when Shane started down at the other location and we did the ribbon cutting. But I was on the front end when Shane was begging for money.
That's a little hard, wasn't it?
And that was a hard time, for sure. Everybody thinks there's grants for everything, don't they, Shane? And there's not. Everybody thinks that Economic Development Cabinet has all the answers. No offense to Economic Development Cabinet or our state, but there were not any resources that would really work for getting this business up and going. And there's a lot of times that projects like this come down to one thing, two things maybe, but number one, the people behind it and that persistence. And so I'm going to take a little different approach today, and I'm going to tell a little bit of that persistent story, because Shane's success didn't start when he started this company. Shane invested in himself early. One thing that I got to know, when you're working economic development projects and you are working with people, you learn them very quick. One thing I knew after just talking with Shane for a little while, and our predecessors and our office is that Shane was not going to give up on this project. And I'm glad he didn't. But he invested himself early in education. He took no shortcuts when it come to his college education. He expected to be held to the same standards as everybody else. And what you see today, Shane holds himself to the highest of standards. And that's why he got to where he is today. It wasn't because somebody else did it. It was because Shane had a vision.
and he did it. He invested in that vision, invested in that education. He took those steps. He took the steps to build skill sets. He took the steps to bring the right people together. I would be remiss if I didn't say that how proud I am today to see our Chamber of Commerce is coming together in a way that I don't know that we've done that for several years. But to celebrate something like this, because every impact that happens in the Buffalo Trace region, whether it happens in one county or the other, is important to all of us. So when Shane had the vision for this company, and he decided to pursue building it, he faced the challenge of funding it. And I'll be honest, that process will challenge anybody's patience. It'll put most people over the edge. It's complicated, it's slow, takes a lot of conversations. Didn't bother Shane at all. As a matter of fact, it just drove him to a deeper dedication, and I got to see that. He knew what he believed in, he knew what he could do, and he knew the product that was needed. And that's how JSB Industrial Solutions began. So I also watched the risk level he took. He put everything on the line except his kids. I knew that because our kids go to school together. Our kids are still very close friends together, been through some tough things together. But actually, Shane put everything on the line, risked everything. But to me, it wasn't a risk, because once you know Shane, you know his work ethic, his preparation, the experience he has. It wasn't a risk. It was a calculated development. So today, this isn't just about the building that sits here. It's not about just what you see that's happening around. It's a reminder to me, number one, of Shane and his vision, his leadership, and the years of hard work from many years ago, developing his education, developing his skills, putting in the time, and bringing a dream to reality. It's about people. So congratulations, my friend. Job well done. Secondly, this is about Lewis County, and it is also about the region. I'm going to talk a little bit about Lewis County for just a second. This was built from the ground up, right here in Lewis County. This is a win for Lewis County. This speaks to the talented workforce that we have right here. The kind of people that show up and the type of people that make things happen. And Shane's got an awesome team behind him that I get to call, because I live here, I get to call my neighbors. But I truly mean this. If there's a company out there looking for a place to grow, right now we have 3,274 people that drive out of this county to share their skills in other areas, and we can build a workforce right here. One last thing. You've heard it said already, but I want to make sure that I point this out. When you look around, this is not just a Lewis County impact. This does have a regional impact. This morning I had a phone call from an existing business, and I was asked if I was coming out here today. And I learned that they already make products here in this shop for that other facility in our region. That's important. This is not just a statewide of Kentucky impact. It's not even just impacting the United States of America. You've already heard it said, this is an international company sitting right here in Tollsboro, Kentucky. I can't remember the exact year, but a few years ago I was watching TV on a Saturday morning, and I know I'm a little nerdy when I say I was flipping through Bloomberg TV, and I watched this aerial photography come up of a plane flying over Tollsboro, Kentucky, and I'm like, who is this? And the next thing you know, they zoom in on JSB Industrial Solutions and Economy Ball Mill, and had this article featured right here in Tollsboro, Kentucky. And not too long after that, I snatched him up to do some speaking over in Fleming County for me at Rotary Club. But think about the impact of what's taking place. This is something special. This is something to point others to of what can be done. So to all of the chamber board members that have come together today and our industry leaders and businesses, when you need an example to shine to the rest of the world, when we're working in economic development and trying to recruit folks to come here to our region, you point the way back to here, and here's a success story to tell. So today we get to celebrate Shane, we get to celebrate Lewis County, we get to celebrate the entire region, and I'm glad that I could be just a little small part of it and watch the risk that he took. I really wish we could have found you more money, but at least we did find you a path to go.
We got started anyway, didn't we?
We did. Congratulations. Thank you.
Next, I would like to welcome Scott McIntyre, attorney with Baker Law and a lifelong friend of Shane's.
Thank you so much. Even though I'm an attorney, I'm not a politician, so I will keep these remarks brief. It's my pleasure to be here. I'm proud to be the lawyer for Shane and this company and his enterprises, but I'm more proud to be a lifelong friend to Shane for 45 years. I want to thank all the speakers here before, including my law school classmate and friend, Congressman Barr, and all these wonderful speakers. Good to meet you again for the first time here too. I'll keep it brief because I'm standing in the way of lunch. But I grew up within walking distance of here, literally within walking distance of here, and have known Shane for 45 years. Hard to believe. Went to school with him first day of school. We've been friends ever since, and I'm proud to continue that relationship all that time from right down the road. Shane, when he was 5 years old, he's one of those individuals, one of those rare individuals, and this is a compliment, who seemed like he was 45. So, he's always been ahead of the curve. He's always been a leader. He's always been thinking, what can I do to better myself? What can I do to better my community? That's what Shane is about. So I'm proud to serve as a partner and lawyer in Cincinnati, and I represent some of the largest companies in the world. I interact with CEOs, I interact with small business owners, entrepreneurs. Everybody starts, they grow. And when I think of people like that, qualities that make an entrepreneur, I'm often asked when I'm interviewing folks for jobs, when I'm dealing with law students who are asking, how can I succeed? Shane's the person I think about. And I think about those kind of qualities that I know firsthand as somebody who's known him for 45 years, who's somebody who's been proud enough to represent him and proud enough to be his friend. I think of those personal qualities that lead to success. And I promise you, we did not compare our notes. Mr. George Sparks, Congressman Barr all said perseverance. But that's the first thing that came to mind when I woke up early this morning and put my thoughts together thinking about how can I encapsulate the essence of Shane Wallingford. That's the first thing that came to mind, is perseverance. We all fail. Rising from the ashes. Shane fortunately has never fallen that hard, but it's human nature to fall. We all fall, and what separates the successful people from the rest is the ability and the courage and the desire to rise from the ashes. I was just talking with Seth, who's the baseball coach at Lewis County. I happen to be a coach of my 10-year-old baseball and soccer, and being a coach of a 10-year-old, mental state, fearlessness, the ability to make a mistake and not lose your mind. One of my favorite bluegrass songs is, it's talking about, I lost my mind, talking about sin, talking about grace, talking about sin. I lost my mind, but I found it again, talking about grace, talking about sin. That's another way of thinking about it. But we all fall short of the mark, whether it's in business, whether it's in our personal lives. And what separates the successful people at the end of the day, it's a long race. And we have to persevere, and we have to rise from challenges and not, have the mental state to think, oh, woe is me. Shane has never been like that. Shane, in addition to perseverance, I would say, is the fearlessness and the courage, the ability to walk into a business north of Australia and say, I'm Shane Wallingford from Lewis County, Kentucky. We all need some of that. I know I need some of that. I learned it from my own dad. I learned it from Shane's dad. I learned it from Shane. That's what distinguishes us. We can compete in this community with anybody in the world if we're given the opportunity and if we have the right mental state, The internet is a differentiator. It separates. It makes it much easier to compete. We have the ability with the rare minerals. We have a history of that. My own dad worked Dravo at the time, carbures right under the ground. We have that history. We have the hard work, the ethics, the leadership, the integrity, if we're given the opportunity. So there's no reason why we can't compete internationally. And as Congressman Barr said, we have Shane Wallingford here as an example, allowing this community to compete with anybody in the world. And now's the time for that. Part of what separates Shane too, and this is what I tell people too who are thinking about how can I succeed, thinking outside the box, not following the pattern or what's expected of someone, or thinking, this is what I need to do because other people are doing it. Shane was never like that. I'm a big advocate of higher education. I went straight to school. I'm on a college board, but that's not appropriate for everybody. My own dad was a farmer and worked as a miner. Wasn't right for him, it wasn't right for Shane. I still remember the conversation, Shane saying, should I go straight to college? And he leaned on me and said, should I be an apprentice? Should I go into tool and die? And I knew for Shane at that time, tool and die was the right thing for him. And look where he is now. He went to college, became a master's degree. If he went straight to a liberal arts degree, probably wouldn't be in the same position. He had the courage and the mental state and the fearlessness to do what was right for him. And now we're talking about apprenticeships. We're talking about thinking outside the box, doing something other than the 4-year degree. Shane was a forerunner to that kind of thinking, and that's why we're here today. So I would say thank you to everyone. Thank you to Shane, and I really am so proud to be here and to be able to help Shane and to see so many friends and neighbors in this community that is. It's amazing. A lot of people would say in Tollsboro, Kentucky. Yes, in Tollsboro, Kentucky. We can compete in this area with anybody in the world. Thank you.
It is now my great honor to introduce our Kentucky State Senator, Robin Webb.
It's exciting to be here today and see my good friends from Fleming County, former Representative Sims, and my friends from Mason County. I appreciate y'all electing me to the Senate twice, and I wouldn't be here without you. But Lewis County is very special to me. Represented them a long time. And Tollsboro is even more special, a bigger part of my life, because the Wallingfords, the Webbs, and the Sparkses, it was always special to them. And the Tollsboro Lions Club horse show was a huge part of all of our lives. We had pretty good fathers, George and Shane and I, who kind of financed our horse hobby, so to speak, because it's a hobby, not a business, pretty much. I've watched Shane grow up, and like Jim back there, we've watched him prosper and be an entrepreneur, and again, his work ethic, his love for the community, and the people that work for him know you couldn't work for a better guy. And we couldn't have a better guy as an ambassador for our county and our community and our region. And I agree with everything that's been said today, and Congressman Barr can relate to this. He's been to a few horse shows with us, and he knows kind of how we stick together. We're a little clannish, we horse people. But I'm really proud of Shane Wallingford, thrilled to be here today, and proud of you all. Just look forward to a great future. And I love the regionalization and the presence y'all here being for us. So thank y'all. And Patrick, Representative Flannery, I'm come up and say a few words. I'm trying to get Patrick to buy a pony. I've got one daughter almost sold on the horse thing. So told him just get out the checkbook and bite the bullet. But Representative Patrick Flannery.
Horses are probably too expensive, so maybe try to limit those to 3 or 4, Robin. Does that sound good? I will try to keep this very brief because I know we have some food out there and we're all hungry, but the main theme that I hear today is really a celebration of someone being a risk taker. That's what this is, the fruits of that. So thank you very much, Shane, and your entire team all the employees here, what we see, what we are seeing here today, what we are experiencing as someone that had many sleepless nights, many times where they're asking, is this worth it? And they said, yes, it is. It is worth it. And everyone that's employed here, everyone that's going to benefit from all this, just being a great asset to the community, is because someone said, I'm going to do this. And we celebrate that today. Thank you all very much for this opportunity. Seems like every week in Lewis County there's a good announcement that I have the opportunity to attend. We're going to have even more announcements today, this afternoon at the courthouse. And it's a great honor to get to represent this county, this community, and all the wonderful people in it. And I appreciate it very much. Thank you all for the opportunity to be here.
Thank you all very much. We are going to prepare for lunch. Would like to thank Mark Harrison with Harrison Events for taking care of lunch today for this event. And I would like to ask John Bauer to come forward and say our prayer.
I'm Johnny Byard. I get to be a deputy in the county and the county sheriff's first chaplain, but I'm also a preacher. I'm not an attorney or a politician, so what is brief? No, I'm just teasing. Let's bow our heads. Father in heaven, we realize you're our creator, our sustainer. We also want to acknowledge that you are sovereign over everything and you control it all. And we exist because of you. And we give you thanks for Shane and his hard work, perseverance, and everybody else involved. But we also realize that this business exists because of you. And we would be remiss, and I know that Shane is very, very thankful for his health that you've given him, for his wisdom and education, and for everything that's here that behind the scenes you have helped to be able to provide, from Big Cabin Creek to around the world. And so, Father, we give you glory for our nation. We give you glory for our freedom. We give you glory for our jobs and our blessings, because without you, we only have education. Without you, we only have finance and personnel and perseverance. But because of your grace and your love, we can have power, and we can make our community better and our world better for your glory. Father, bless this food. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen.